What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here, like Julian Disc Golf Course, for another bonus battle. This one's going to be flipping understable mid-ranges. I'm pairing up my Clash Steady Ring Peach against the new Tour Series for Cat merch. This is the Halo Star Stingray. It has been so extremely long since Stingray was made in anything other than DX plastic, so this is going to be interesting. I've never thrown a premium plastic Stingray. The flight numbers are supposed to be very similar. Instead of the 5.4 -2.1, the Innova gives it 5.4 -3.1, but this is Halo Star and it's a Tour Series max weight, so anything really could be possible. Let's start checking some flippy mids. Right off the bat, it has to be said that the Stingray is a wider diameter than the Peach. The Peach is not the widest of mid-ranges, but the Stingray feels even wider than most. So, and the cross-section of this disc, very dart arrow-esque. It's like they took an arrow and smushed it to make it a mid-range. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start off the short pad here on hole 7. Let's see if we can have a nice little drifty shot. A little bit of a headwind right now. That's pretty good for this hole. Now for the Stingray. We'll catch mark. This stamp is really cool too. It's like Dragon Eye, Cat merch, the Shield Maiden. Okay, that's really fun. That's a really good disc. I know this is a bonus battle, but Stingray might actually end up in the bag. Profile-wise, right next to the Peach, it looks like the Stingray should be more stable. However, the Stingray is also shallower, so the same amount of plastic is underneath the disc, meaning there's less plastic on top of the disc, which, yeah, it should be more stable. But sometimes if you make a disc a wider diameter, it tends to glide a little bit more. So if you make it a little bit understable with a lot of glide, it might be a lot more understable. Interesting. We are on hole number 10. Gonna throw the just drifty turnover shot. Stingray took the first point. So let's see what the Stingray can show us on this hole. To flip up, but I didn't get it to turn over. Interesting. You know what I'm gonna chalk that up to? We were throwing kind of into a headwind on the last hole and kind of with a tailwind on this hole. So maybe they should have been flat to turn over instead of hyzer flip to turn over. Because while glide seems to affect and in a more understable way when you're throwing into a headwind, when you're throwing with a tailwind, glide actually makes it way more overstable because it just hangs in the air for much longer. So that is 1-on-1 Peach to Stingray. This might be more interesting than I thought. This is the new 7, so long pad for 7. This is absolutely also a shot we're going to be using quite frequently. It's another cross tailwind shot. So can we keep these on enough hyzer to not turn over? Let's give it a shot. Peach has the box. That's beautiful. That's why I love the peach. And something I was noticing when trying to throw, well, actually it'll come out in a couple of weeks, but Buzz SS versus peach, it just, trying to power grip a peach is a lot easier than trying to power grip most of the other mid-ranges. This one kind of feels like I can get a little bit more power grip because of a little bit more triangular cross section. Okay, that glide came into effect there. The peach stayed a little bit straighter, but I also put the Stingray on a little bit more hyzer as well. So all in all, probably about the same stability, especially with the tailwind. Short pad for hole number 4. This is one of the most fun tee shots to throw flippy mids off of. Peach has 2 points, Stingray still with 1. But when there's wind, there's always a chance for things to go wrong with flippy discs. I would have liked it to pan out just a tiny bit more, but with the wind, we'll take what we can get. Now let's see if we can get anything better with the Stingray. Ooh, that was a nice run on the red basket. That was so much fun. Now, also, it did kind of skid out a little bit, but I'm going to give it the point because it skidded out instead of rolled out. Like the peach kind of half skidded, half rolled, but it still did roll down left. And the Stingray just kind of skidded out and stayed kind of where it sat. So give the point to the Stingray here. 2-2. How many more final holes do we need? Let's just keep throwing until we figure out which one we want. Very similar torque resistance, very similar shot shaping, very similar almost hand feel. Obviously this feels a little bit more angled and sharp than the peach does, which has just a little bit more rounded off shoulder. And they get their glide in 2 different ways. This one has dome, so it holds more air underneath the disc. And this one is just bigger around, so there's more air underneath the disc. Both of these are great. I've been looking for something a tiny bit flippier than the peach, but not quite as understable as the Detour, and this Stingray might be it. Stingray has the box 2-2 here on, let's see, is that 10, 11, 12? This is 13, hole 13. Keep it low, keep it driven. It will stay below the wind and do what you want it to do. But if you keep it up in the air, it's going to get pushed and it's going to stay straighter because, well, it's flippier. So the wind is going to keep pushing from behind it, making it go further, but also not really making it turn over. But if you can keep it below the wind, you get a really pretty hyzer flip to turnover shot. Can we do the same with the peach? There was the hyzer flip to straight shot. See where I'm like, the peach is just a tiny bit too stable. If I'm using the Buzz SS as my straight mid-range, as my flip to flat mid-range, the peach is too stable to be the flippy mid-range, so I do need something a little bit flippier. So, in steps the Stingray. But if I'm still using the peach as my flip to, the Hex as my flip to flat mid-range instead of the Buzz SS, maybe I go with peach, but also Stingray's flying so good. Stingray is up 1 more point. Let's go throw off of 15. What used to be 18. It's still our finishing hole. And let's see who wins out. We have about 10 to 15 right to left tail crosswind, so blowing this direction right now. Let's really open up on these and see how far these discs will actually go when you throw them. We're going to commit to the hyzer release, and hopefully they don't turn all the way over with full power, because the wind should be helping to push them straight. Stingrays up first. I honestly don't know which one of these is going to go further, but I do know that I'm going to be sticking the Stingray in the bag at least for a little while. I do want to give it a little bit more of a test out than just one video, because I've had a lot of time with the Peach. So let's test out the Stingray a little bit more. How far can we make this Cat Merch Stingray go? Oh, I think that might have gone past 400. Can we do anything better with the Peach? And yeah, I think it might have gone further, but there you saw that the Peach and the Stingray do have different flight characteristics. While the Stingray seems to have a higher parting line, just off the feel of the rim, overall it actually ends up being slightly more understable. Hence why you saw the Peach almost flipped completely to flat, and the Stingray turned over and rode to the right for a little ways before it faded out. Both of them are great discs, and I love the Peach. And in super windy conditions, I'll probably lean on the Peach a little bit more. But for right now, I'm trying to smooth up my form, and I need flippier discs to do that with. So we're gonna be sticking the Cat Merch Halo Star Stingray into my bag, and I'm about to have a great time. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.